All right, welcome back. We're here working on the FJ62 88. So here we go. We removed the air box, moved that over, battery tray, removed that. There was some uh, trash and crap down there. We vacuumed that out. We got all the belts off. We're working on this air conditioner compressor here. We're going to change this out. This one is it's kind of locked up. It moves, but then it binds. So I know it's not working. I tried putting some oil in it and freeing it up, but it ain't working. So we're gonna swap that out. We got a new one. So we're gonna do that while we're disassembling here. We've been cleaning up. We're gonna change out the oil pressure sender plug. That thing is over here. Plug, yeah, right there. We have the plug, we have the sensor. This was converted to a mechanical gauge. We have good oil pressure, so we're reasonably confident that if we swap that out and it doesn't work, then we'll troubleshoot the electrical system and the dash, the gauge, but we'd like to get that factory gauge working there, so we're going to do that. The fan clutch is working just fine, and we had a small coolant leak coming from up here. I don't think it's the water pump. I think it's the actual hose that clips onto the water pump. So that's what we're going to be working on first. We're going to tighten that up. It was loose that I found. And then we're going to get working on the air conditioning system. Obviously, you don't need to disconnect all these lines just to do a compressor change out. However, I am doing it because I want to clean this engine bay, and I don't want to have open lines in the engine bay when I do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the lines, remove the compressor, spray, degrease, wash, rinse everything down. Then we'll put all the lines back in, and we have to put in new O-rings anyways. We don't have to, but it's always a good idea to replace your O-rings when you do change a compressor or any AC work, because the likelihood that an O-ring will then fail, it's, if it's working fine, it's working fine, but we got it out, we got the engine bay opened up, we got the radiator removed, we might as well. Just to prevent stuff from getting knocked in there into the line when we're washing and everything in here. This old compressor we don't care about, and everything else, once we pull that off, we're going to clean as best we can what we can see, and that'll give us better access to these hoses behind this from the lower water pump hose that's leaking. All right, let's keep going. All right, we have our compressor. Pair. Something like that. It's a little shorter, but looks like that'll transfer over, and mounting holes will mount up. Plugs is the same. I say we're in business. Let's go get an Allen head and change these out to this so that our lines match up. Here we go. clean that out because it's not seating all the way and stripping it. Okay. All right. Now, let's look at this one. Looks like it's got some nitrogen in it, pressurized. Bolts are nice and clean. That's awesome. We're letting the oil out. We don't want to do that. So now, let's look at it. Bam! Exactly the same. Looks good. Now, let's see if we can replace these O-rings. We've got an O-ring kit. It's supposed to be for this vehicle. We will see. Should have 4 of them. 4 of these big ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Looks good. Put a little bit of this oil on him, hopefully that'll help it kind of stick in there, because he doesn't want to stay. We can do this. We don't want to pour all the oil out either, so. Here we go. Feels like we're good. Get these started by hand, zip them down, and then tighten them by hand. Now these are the factory ports that are for R22, and I added a just your generic R134A conversion in them. These ones here, this only has one port, looks like, to charge it. I like to monitor both sides. If I were to reuse those on here like it came, I could swap one over on the low side to there and charge it, but then I would not be able to read the high pressure side and my lines wouldn't work. So I'd have to make all new lines. It's no good. So we're going to swap this over. We'll clean it up when it's all done on here, because I don't want to get water in here. Anything, if you know anything about AC and refrigeration, you don't want any kind of moisture or water inside here. You want to minimize the time that it's open to the atmosphere, which, you know, it is what we're doing right now, but when we put the vacuum pump on it, we'll be able to suck all that out and it'll be good to go. So try to keep it as clean as possible. We'll set this aside and go ahead and start cleaning our engine bay. Put our O-rings back in our little baggie here, and we're going to use these for the lines when we put the lines back together. But overall, AC compressor is going to go in nice and easy. Put these on here just for now. Okay, set that aside. Continue on. All right, now we can take a look at what we got down here. Okay, apart from being nice and greasy, we got our hose right here, which is nice and flexible, but also leaking. So we're going to try to tighten that up. We may have to remove this bracket. If we do, no big deal. But if we can get away without removing it, that would be better. I think we're going to have to remove that bracket. Bolt here. It's like a bolt there. The bolts up here. And this whole thing. And a bolt here. If you were going to change out the water pump, because of how this routes, it looks to me like you're going to have to remove this thing anyways. So. Here we go. Get the bracket off. Now we can take a look at this hose. And this is some true redneck shit right here. But it looks to me like we're going to be going to the parts store to get a hose. Not really sure why this third hose clamp is on there, other than just to keep it from bulging out. But we're going to need to replace that hose. Okay, so that thing shoots out like that. These are the same size. We just need a little piece of connector to go on there, and we'll clock these hose clamps so they make sense. We'll get rid of this third one. More cruiser weight reduction, you know, 25, 35 years, whatever, however old this thing is. Let's see, 34 years old, of somebody thinking of a good idea. It just restricts the flow, and you know, go get a hose. No big deal. And you might as well replace this lower one too. Might as well replace the lower one too. We got it off. We're here. Put it in the pile. Shit that we gotta buy. All right. Now, I think what we're ready to do here is get it ready to wash. That's about as far as I want to take it apart right now. And so we're gonna roll it back, fire up my pressure washer, and wash it down. We'll spray with some degreaser and stuff. But you know, in the meantime, we gotta clean stuff off and get it ready to wash. That ought to be good enough. Leaking a little coolant, but no big deal. We got the Purple Power degreaser. I'll spray it. Cupcake. Good as we're gonna get it. Is it perfect? No. Is it better than it was? Definitely. So back together it goes. Be back in a little bit. I'm gonna go run and get that hose so we can start putting it back together.